set two cups on the table every night.
And that is George Arbuckle with our intro. Welcome back to the Road to Omaha podcast. How are we doing today, Ryan?
Pretty good. As you might have noticed, our co-host Jacob is not here today as he is in Houston watching the Astros game.
He is, and Cameron, who is our game watcher and also a part-time host, is at Top Golf, so he will also be dearly missed. So, for everyone watching, this is going to be part one of this episode. And this part of the episode is going to be covering mostly SEC baseball, particularly A&M, as that series has already been determined in the first two games, as A&M has taken the first two. But there's a lot of concerns that I have, and
We will go over LSU when Jacob gets back.
yeah, we'll go over LSU when Jacob gets back. And I'll tell you, it's been an exciting weekend of baseball in the SEC this weekend. Although I think the first thing that we need to address the elephant in the room. OU, game one, they get run ruled 14 to nothing. Okay. Pitching was not there. Their offense was dead. Although, to be fair to Texas, their pitching staff is insane. Rio Haas, who's their Friday night starter, he's probably going to be getting our pitching performance of the week. 7 shutout innings, 8 strikeouts, and a complete game shutout. I mean, the dude was just dialed in. And obviously, I want to make fun of Texas, but being an unbiased analyst here, you got to give credit to Texas's pitching. It has been super good to start the year. Their rotation's been really good, and I'll tell you the thing that won them the series this weekend versus OU. Their bullpen has been phenomenal, and OU's bullpen has been probably one of the worst in the SEC so far to start the year. As the next two games, OU lost on walk-offs. Game two, they were up 3 to nothing. They lost that on a walk-off. Game three, they were up 4-2. Also lost that game on a walk-off.
And a fun fact for both games, they lost both of those games in extra innings.
They did, yeah.
And also looking at it, Texas's bullpen has well improved from that mishap in their midweek.
Oh yeah, that midweek versus Houston, I was ready to start sounding the alarm on the Texas bullpen, but then I took a step back and I was like, hold on. Because a lot of teams do kind of experiment in midweeks. They don't take midweeks nearly as seriously as, obviously their weekend series, so they don't put their best arms out there. They don't use their best arms out of the pen. But I mean, I feel like Texas, they should have still won that game just based with their offense, but their offense only had 3 hits despite the 7 runs. That's just not sustainable baseball.
I mean, most games, if you're up 7-0, you should be able to win.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's why, even though Texas, they continue to prove why they're the number 2 team in the country, they still, for the second week in a row for that Houston game, they get the stole defeat from the jaws of victory choker of the week award for the second week in a
And
row.
currently, also for SEC play right now, I will update later, but currently at top of the ninth, Alabama and Auburn is currently tied.
Okay. Because Alabama put a beating on Auburn last night, which was shocking. I was not expecting Auburn to get beaten down that bad, but rivalry baseball is always weird. Um, that's why OU and Texas was so close the next two games. Although OU, like I said, they just can't finish games. And this might sound a little bit crazy, although you might agree with me on this. I don't think as of right now they are a top 15 or a top 10 team.
I think just because of the fact, I mean, in today's game, looking at the box score, OU had 12 hits compared to Texas's 8 and had no errors compared to Texas's 1 error.
Well, that should paint a there's going to be a lot of people that just look at the box score, but the box score, whenever you're reading a box score, it should paint a picture for you. If you're getting
Yeah,
12 hits in a game, you should be able to score more runs than four.
I
That
mean,
means, sorry, I'll let you
sorry to
continue.
interrupt, but I think that kind of also shows just how good Texas's like fielding is as well
Oh yeah,
at
no,
times. I
Texas
mean, yeah, they have
defense.
the occasional errors like they did against Houston and Tarleton, but when they when they actually focus, they are really dangerous and honestly could have maybe the best fielding behind maybe UCLA.
Oh no, I agree. And Texas defense is phenomenal. And like I said, they've got some good arms out of that pen. Power arms out of that pen. And and the thing with Texas is the one thing that they did better than OU, the thing that OU just could not do in the series. They were able to have timely hitting with runners in scoring position, and OU just didn't. Despite the 12 hits, OU only put up 4 runs, and that should paint a picture of they weren't able to move base runners.
Okay, next thing series I'm going to bring up is Florida Arkansas. As of right now, Arkansas has lost the series, and they are going to avoid trying to be getting swept tomorrow. Bryant, what are your opinions on that?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Florida's just ridiculously talented, especially their pitching uh, is insanely talented. I think they simply just had a rough weekend versus Alabama, and this is you got to remember that's an Alabama team that's hot right now. Um,
Yeah, and I, I mean, this might be a little bit controversial, but I think Alabama needs to potentially shoot up inside the top 20 next rankings.
I 100% agree with you. Alabama's balanced. They've got a good offense. They've got good pitching. But the thing with Florida is they've got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Great pitching. You know, Liam Peterson, their Friday night guy. I mean, his stuff is just wicked. Um, and it's been a hoot watching him develop over the last 3 seasons. I remember watching him in the 24 College World Series as a freshman, and the stuff was there, but the command was not. But as the next 2 seasons went on, I mean, watching him develop command and being able to command his pure stuff has just been it's been a pleasure. I mean, watching him pitch has been a pleasure. The dude, he's kind of got that old school power pitcher feel to him. 98-mile-an-hour fastball, power curveball, slider, changeup. He's got a good arsenal.
All right, kind of being the stat guy and the series tracker here, I'm just going down the list on ESPN. But the next series it is number 6 Mississippi State versus number 18 Ole Miss.
I think Mississippi State won last night.
Mississippi State did win today 6-1.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was last night that Ole Miss or Mississippi State won. I'm pretty sure I think Mississippi State has won the series. Not 100% sure. I do know this for absolute certain. Southern Miss dropped their series to Appalachian State or Appalachian State.
Is that and something? And this isn't SEC, but this is a wild thing. Number 9 Virginia today got run ruled 17-0 by Boston College.
Well, okay. Boston College is not an awful team. They're 20-8, and they're kind of close to 500 in conference play. They're not as bad of a team as people are making them out to be. I feel like a lot of people be like, "Oh, well, Boston College is trash and this, that, and the other." They're saying that in comparison to Virginia or what Virginia's supposed to be, because Virginia is supposed to be this ultra loaded top 10 team, right? They're supposed to be an
Yeah,
Omaha contender. So, they're kind of basing a lot of people be like, well, Boston College was a bunch of bums. They're comparing that relative to, Virginia. But I mean, Boston College is not a bad team by any means. Are they out of this world great? Do I think they're going to win the College World Series? No, I don't think that at all. Do I think they deserve to be ranked? No. But they're not an awful team in the grand scheme of what people. I feel like a lot of it's an overreaction because teams get run ruled all the time. LSU last year, they got run ruled in one of their midweeks. They went on to win a national championship. It's just
yeah.
baseball. college baseball is a very volatile sport. So, teams are going to drop conference series every now and again, and every now and again they're going to get run ruled. A&M run ruled Georgia almost a week ago, and Georgia's the number 7 team in the country. I mean, it's just a big overreaction, you
Yeah,
know?
back to the SEC series. This you were right. Ole Miss did lose their last game, and they also lost their midweek. So Ole Miss is currently on a very cold streak.
Yeah, that's right after they got moved into the top 25 too. They're inside the top 20. They're the number 18 team in the country.
Yeah, and based off looking, I mean, I know box scores don't always show the start of the game, but it just looks like they got hits off. They just could not get players to score.
Well, it's just, the ability to move base runners is one of the most crucial abilities a team can have if they want to make a prolonged run in the postseason. If you cannot move base runners, you're not going to score. And if you cannot manufacture runs, you're not going to win consistently. Um, and that's why you see a lot of pitching heavy teams, they don't make it that far in the postseason. It's because if you cannot manufacture runs, something's going to give eventually, and your pitching will give at some point. Your offense has to be able to complement your pitching. It cannot be one side or the other. You got to be able to have complementary baseball on both
Yeah, I
sides
mean,
of the ball.
sorry, Texas fans. It knows like we're kind of targeting a bit, but we kind of saw that with Texas baseball last year. That that they weren't they the one seed in entering the postseason that they didn't even make it at a super regionals because of their hitting.
Water went down the wrong hole, but yes, they were. Making sure I don't die. Um, They were a 1 seed in the tournament. They were either a 1 or a 3 seed in the tournament last year, and they didn't make it out of their own regional.
All right, the next series the, is South Carolina, Georgia.
Oh, that's probably a massacre. I already know that's not close. That's a series I haven't. That's like one of the few series I haven't fully paid attention to. I, I feel like Georgia should win that series pretty easily. I mean, South Carolina doesn't even have a head
Right now,
coach.
Georgia has won the series. They won the first two games, but they won their first game 5-2. Today, they only won 3-1. What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, Georgia not being able to score runs. That's a little bit concerning for Georgia. But they've got, I mean, their offense is going to bounce back. They've got one of the most explosive and powerful offenses in the SEC and in the country. And their pitching is good enough to where their pitching can carry a series if their offense goes cold. So I wouldn't be super worried. Although, I mean, I guess the only slight concern is this is against a South Carolina team that doesn't even have a head coach right now. But, you know, that's just baseball sometimes. I mean, sometimes your bats will be scoring 20 runs a game, and sometimes they'll just do just enough for you to win. It's just one of those things in baseball, week in and week out. But I mean, if your offense can consistently through most of the season average, I'd say 5 to 6 runs a game as an elite team, you should be fine. I mean, even a good
I
team,
have
if they're averaging 5 runs a game, that should win you most ball games, I would say.
uh, up update on Alabama Auburn. According to an AuburnWire.com, Auburn was not able to score, and it's 2-2 middle of the night.
I could. I have my monitor. I can get that game going right now. So as we break different series down, I can watch that game live and give you my live reaction. So I feel like that's a
Got
good
it.
little piece. And also, do not worry. My monitor does not have audio, so we will not be copyrighted for watching this game because this thing does not admit audio.
All right. I'm gonna skip over the LSU Kentucky series for now, as we're gonna get Jacob's thoughts on that later.
I will say Kentucky's a good team. They are a phenomenal team this year. I'll give Kentucky that. That's all I'm going to say for now on that.
So, so this is so. Brian, you see the Texas Tech game today for older Texas Tech?
Yeah, I did. And I'll be providing my thoughts on Tech and DBU in part two. But I will say, providing short thoughts, Old Row was correct about their offense. Their offense impressed me. They had I think 22 hits.
23,
The 22,
according to
23 hits. Yeah, they've definitely got an offense. It's my main concern for them is going to be their bullpen, but I will go more into detail on that in part two. Which for anyone watching, it's not going to get posted in two different parts. It's literally just going to be cut once part two ends. It's literally just going to go right into part two. So for viewers, it's just going to be like nothing got skipped. But anyways,
all right.
um,
The next series we're gonna go over is A&M Missouri, which I'm just gonna say a tale of two completely different games.
yeah, this is gonna be
Game
my
one, game one, we were up 10-1 at one point and narrowly blew it. Unfortunately,
okay. So this series, obviously, you're going to get my long analysis because I'm an Aggie, so I'm going to be go super in depth. But um, okay, game one was interesting. Now, obviously, in short, I'm not worried about the offense. The offense has been moving base runners efficiently. They've been hitting with runners on score in scoring position. They've been able to score consistently. So the offense obviously is. Oh, and Alabama just walked off Auburn. That's it.
so,
Yeah, that's the game. Alabama just walked off Auburn and they take the
so Auburn,
series.
so Auburn just lost the series.
Yes, they did. But
And now I think we have to discuss is Auburn going to drop potentially out of the top eight.
they're definitely dropping out of the top eight. There's
I
no
mean, there's
doubt in
going to be
my
a
mind.
lot of movement. I think because Arkansas also lost, could we see Georgia potentially move up to four?
Yes, I think so.
It's
Yes,
going to be Georgia or
absolutely.
Mississippi State. And I just realized this. There has been multiple top 10 teams that have lost their series this week.
Uh-huh, yeah. But we'll go more into those in part two.
But
But
back on topic about A&M.
um,
Have to be what was that pitch in game one?
okay. I'll break it down for
'Cause
you because I watched
I'm
it
just
all.
I wasn't able to catch all of the game because I was at work, but what happened with the pitching? Because saw we were up 10-1, and then I was turned the game off to focus on work, and then as soon as I get a break, I see panic texting. What happened?
Okay, I'll explain it to you like this. So all right, we go up 1-0 in the top of the first. Sendeo has a rough first inning, but he doesn't give up any runs. But there was still base traffic. So the warning signs for Sendeo having a bad outing were definitely there. But um he did give up a run at the bottom of the second inning, and then he settled down for the next about 3 innings. He was really good through his first 4.1 innings pitched. I thought he was going to have a bounce back outing and be really good and probably go through 6 innings or so. The fifth inning came, he gets the first out. It's 10-1 by this point, keep in mind. But then the wheels just fell off. I mean, not even fell off. The wheels caught on fire and then they were incinerated. Okay.
Put it in F1 terms. It's like when Haas in the Australian Grand Prix back in 2018 did not attach their lug nuts properly when they were in the top five and their wheels completely fell off the car.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. And because Sendeo, he gave up 6 straight hits, and in those 6 hits, he gave up 6 earned runs in the span of about 5 minutes. He just could not put people away, and I'll explain why. First problem, he was having some command issues last night. Secondly, when he was throwing strikes, he was not sequencing his pitches properly, and he was not getting hitters off balance. Like he would throw two breaking pitches or three breaking pitches in a row, or he'd throw two fastballs in a row. Or what he'd end up doing is he would get into a 3-1 count. And so when you're in a 3-1 count as a pitcher, you got to throw a strike. So the Missouri hitters were automatically anticipating, okay, I'm going to get a pitch to hit. And because Sendeo did not trust his stuff last night to get outs, or he did not trust his sequencing, he got smacked around in the bottom of the fifth. He was just leaving balls over the heart of the plate, and
We could just
Missouri.
and you could just see his confidence just go.
Yeah, no, it did. His confidence completely disappeared. He had no confidence in his stuff.
And
He was
we're not trying to badmouth him. You could just honestly see. I like rewatched replay. You could just see it in his face. His confidence just draining.
well. Then you could tell it in his mechanics. He was rushing his delivery. A lot of his pitches felt rushed.
I think
He
if
wasn't. He was pitching to survive more so than he was to get out. So his sequencing just completely disappeared.
if he can find a way to regain his confidence, maybe in like the next series, he definitely will bounce back. He just needs to focus on getting his confidence back. But also, Jason Kelly, I think this was the warning sign that he is 100% on the hot seat, and if he doesn't get this together, he's gone.
Well, I feel like this series was definitely the eye opener for Aggie fans. Like, okay, Michael Early is not the problem because I've been saying this for weeks.
Yeah, like game two is a second. Who was it? Weston Moss started to give up runs. Early took him out immediately.
Oh yeah, no. Early was like, yeah, no, we're not having a repeat of game one, and he yanked Moss immediately. He gave him a short leash. He did not have much patience with Moss.
Yeah. My question for you is, why did we keep Sadao in so long?
Why did we keep Sendeo in? Well,
Yeah.
I'll explain it cleanly. First of
Oh,
all,
Sendeo, my bad. My bad for the mispronunciation. That might
I
happen
mean, I
sometimes.
mean, his name is kind of funky to pronounce. It's Sadeo, Sendeo, whatever. You could pronounce it either way. I don't care. But first off, you do not want to cook your bullpen in the first game of the series. That's the simple explanation. That's the first reason. Early was probably thinking in his head he did not want to go to Gavin Lyons immediately. He did not want to go to Fresh Corn immediately, and he did not want to use guys like Cunningham or Ethan Darden immediately, which is valid. But uh, you, secondly, I think the three clean innings that Sendeo did have kind of gave Early a false sense of security that Sendeo was going to have a cleaner outing. Thirdly, he was playing against Missouri. Missouri, I will preface this by saying it is hard to win any SEC series, especially on the road, even if it is the teams like Missouri. But Missouri is the second worst team in the SEC, only ahead of South Carolina. Um, so he probably thought that Sendeo could probably go seven or so innings versus Missouri. I mean, Missouri is not Georgia or Oklahoma. You know what I mean? It's just you can't. They're not even in the same echelon of talent.
Oh, Jacob
But
just texted me that he's got some stuff going on, so he can't be in the podcast right now.
okay, I mean that, and that's fine.
We can
But
cut that little bit out.
the thing is I'll tell you, I feel like Early trusted that his Friday. It's the simple fact that he trusted that his Friday night guy could have a bounce back start and get the job done. Sendeo has the stuff. He's got the experience. I mean, he struck out 12 Georgia Bulldogs in a start last Friday. Granted, he gave up 5 earned runs, but I think he was expecting that, Sendeo would finally put it all together and have a complete start because he's got the pure stuff for it, and he should have the composure. But I think Sendeo's main problem is just he just doesn't have confidence right now, and it's
And adding on to that, we somewhat have to keep him in longer because Josh Stewart's out, so we don't have as much debt. We can't take him out early and then have Fresh Corn and Lions be spent before the other two games.
yeah, no, exactly, and I 100% agree with that. And the thing that bugged me too was, you know, the bullpen reliability is getting better. Our bullpen, I have noticed, is trending upwards.
Yeah, Freshcorn did pretty
Dude, Freshcorn was
decent.
nails. 6 out save, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts. I mean, he was just nails. He was so good.
The second game was a completely different story, though.
It was. And, oh gosh. Okay, Weston Moss. He's a completely different story compared to Sendeo. He's been having similar woes to Sendeo, but not for the same reasons. Oh, Moss, how do I even start? And Moss, if you ever watch this, do not take this personally because I am not trying to rag on you or this is not personal, but okay, Moss. Let me break his start down. He went 3.2 innings pitched. He walked four earned runs. He only struck out two hitters, four hits given up. I mean, Moss was doing some weird stuff, especially in the first inning. He was messing around with his arm slot. He was experimenting with pitch grips. He was doing all kinds of funky stuff, and I was just like, you need to just focus on getting outs. You need to stop worrying about trying
Yeah,
to
like
experimenting with a sinker grip and actually just focus on getting outs. He was trying,
yeah, like if this is a midweek, that's the perfect game to do that, but not when we're in the middle of a conference series.
especially on the road, and it's dude
Because on the
Moss.
road
Uh,
series is, or you can, I mean, just look, isn't Alabama playing at Auburn right now?
no, Auburn's playing at Alabama.
I mean, yeah, look on the road, you never could you can't take anything for granted.
Yeah,
Auburn's lost the series on the road,
yeah, they did. Yeah, to their
and
rival.
and
eh,
a team like Missouri, I'm gonna give credit to Missouri. They have a pretty solid offense.
They do. Missouri's got a good offense, better than what their conference record shows. Their conference record is 1-7 purely because their pitching is really bad. But I mean Moss's confidence is completely shot as of right now. This is like his fourth straight bad outing that he's had. Um, Moss, he has an expanded repertoire. He doesn't use it. That's the problem. He can throw 5 pitches, but he chooses to only throw two, maybe three. I mean, I only saw a couple breaking balls that entire start. He was throwing all four seamers and changeups, and he was experimenting with a sinker or some kind of two-seam fastball. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Just get out. And like I said, he was messing around with his arm slot. He was messing around with his mechanic timing. And I'm like, why are you screwing
Wasn't
around
he
with your
throwing
arm?
like funk? Wasn't he throwing funky sliders?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, he would go from like, your typical release point right here to a low three quarters to almost a sidearm delivery. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, yeah, you can't be experimenting too much either because you experiment wrong, and there goes your UCL.
Well, he was walking, his command was everywhere. I mean, if you can't even throw strikes with your normal mechanics, why are you messing around with your arm slot mid game? I mean, he's been struggling to throw strikes all season long. So messing with his mechanics, I feel like it's just gonna increase his walk issue. And I think part of why he's screwing around with his arm slot, I think, is Jason Kelly trying to overcorrect Moss, which I think is why Moss has not been performing that well.
All right, and I don't know if this is the right man, but the Grinds Energy Patch, I think game of the week, I think that has to go to Vanderbilt, Tennessee.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Grinds in,
16 innings.
yeah, no, 16 innings is it was a grinder of a game, that is for sure. But Vandy
Vanderbilt ended up
takes,
coming on top.
yeah, Vandy takes the series over Tennessee. I think Vandy, they're finally starting to fully put it together. Their bullpen has been a lot better in the last week and a half, and their offense has been consistent. Their offense has been consistent most of the year, but Vandy's question mark has been their pitching, and their pitching's finally starting to kind of pull it together a little bit. But Tennessee, I don't know. They're just not that clutch of a team, and you can tell the absence of Tony Vitello has definitely taken a lot of edge away off of Tennessee. They just don't have that same kind of, I guess, confidence that they did whenever Vitello was coaching there. And I've got very strong opinions about Tony Vitello, but you can't deny whenever I say that Vitello was a hell of a coach, and the dude was a player's coach. He knew how to get his guys fired up to win ball games, and they just had a kind of swagger to them that not many college baseball teams have. Now, obviously, how you interpreted that whenever Vitello was there, it some people said Tennessee was exciting to watch. They love the swagger. Others said that it was just plain ego and cockiness. I feel like my personal opinion, it was a mixture of both. I,
Yeah,
I
it honestly depended on who they were playing because sometimes you'd see them. I mean, like the pure energy, like when they hit a walk off against like an SEC series, and then
mhm,
they just do that same thing when they're run ruling them mid-major, midweek, and that kind of
yeah,
shows some of the cockiness.
and I've got,
It's
like I
kind of
said,
like when Manziel was it's kind of like how Manziel would like do stuff like that when he was playing Alabama and beat them, and then when he was standing over that Sam Houston player.
yeah, no, I agree with that. That's a good analogy, and like I said, I've got strong opinions on Tony Vitello, but the dude's a hell of a coach, and his absence is, I mean, it's left a giant void in Tennessee. The question is can Tennessee develop a new identity now that Vitello is gone and win games their own way with I think Elander's the name of the head coach. Um, but right, I feel like Tennessee's kind of having an identity crisis right now more than anything. They just do not have that same level of swagger energy that they did before. And now that they've dropped a series to their rival, it's a little rough for sure. But we'll see how Tennessee season plays out for the rest of the year. Um, South Carolina, I'll tell you what I've been thinking about a lot. That program is so dysfunctional. And it's crazy to say because a lot of the old heads will remember whenever they went back to back in 2010 and 2011 for the national title. So, Ryan, a long time. This was a little bit before our time, but South Carolina used to be a freaking powerhouse. They used to be really good.
Episode episode number 2542 of Random Baseball Knowledge with Bryant Nelson.
Oh yeah, no, they were the absolute. I mean, they were the. I can't. What's the old timey phrase? They were the bee's knees. You know what I mean? They were the
Huh?
hot stuff. I mean, they were the bee's knees. They were the talk of the town back in the day, 15 years ago. And this was a South Carolina team too. They beat a UCLA team in the finals that had both Trevor Bauer and Garrett Cole in the same rotation. Fun fact.
And
Yeah, continue what you were saying.
trying to recollect what I was saying. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of teams. Do you think there's a potential Vandy drops out of the top 25? Or do you think them and A&M will just swap places?
Well, I think Vandy is. I mean, they're not in the top 25 right now. For Vandy, I think you're thinking about Tennessee.
I meant Tennessee, my bad.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. Don't worry.
Yeah, Vandy, I don't think they're going to be ranked again with their pitching.
Vandy's got to win a couple SEC series before they actually get ranked. But Tennessee, I don't know, man. If they get swept tomorrow, I think that drops them out of the top 25.
Okay. This is the LSU series, but it's a stat I wanted to bring up that probably should bring a little bit of alarm bells from Kentucky. They had 7 hits today and had 0 runs.
Oof, against a not great LSU pitching staff too. That is
Let's
rough.
compare that to Postal had the same amount of hits and scored 12 runs.
Well, that's because Coastal was also getting guys on base via walks. They were taking pitches. Coastal's also just a really good team when it comes to situational hitting. But I'll go more into detail on that in part 2 later in this video. But
Yeah, and in part 2 later in the video, we should, or maybe even this part, there is a concerning stat about Virginia. They only managed 3 hits against Boston College.
well, okay, I'm not going to sound the alarm on Virginia yet because, like I said, there's going to be series that even the best teams drop. I mean, that's just baseball. That's just college ball for you. It's just one of those things. It wasn't
I think,
Virginia's day.
yeah, I wasn't ready to say, I think the more concerning thing is the manner of how they lost an absolute blowout.
Yeah, that is concerning. That should be concerning in terms of Virginia's pitching, but offenses they go cold. Even the best offenses in the country have horrible days. It's just baseball, but the pitching was definitely a concern. I agree with that. I'll tell you though, it's I was trying to make a metaphor, but I forgot what the metaphor was going to be. Darn it. But that's okay. Now, I'm watching the West Virginia Arizona State game on my monitor. I'll talk about that series when it wraps up tomorrow. But Arizona State is not looking great. But Southern Miss is they got to drop out of the top 15. They dropped their second straight conference series and they got the brakes beaten off of them by Mississippi State in the midweek. It was rough.
And
12-0.
and what you said about Texas Tech's offense being good, looking at NCAA.com, they currently have a team batting average of .364.
Yeah, no, their offense is legit. My main concern for Tech, and I will go way into detail in part 2 later in this video, the their bullpen is a little bit concerning.
I mean,
Um,
Texas Tech currently has a guy with the 10th best average, Jesse. Sorry if I butchered the last name, Rusnick, who is currently batting a .441.
oh yeah, Jesse Rusnick. He's one of the players to watch for Tech. But that Tech series is going to be interesting. And TCU, they were also coming off of a midweek win over DBU. DBU, they need to be concerned, and I'll explain why in part 2 later in this video. I know I'm saying that a lot, but oh crap, their bullpen is. Oh, DBU's bullpen is it's not good. But I think for part 1, that'll wrap part 1 up. Obviously, for the viewers, the video is just gonna continue right into part 2. But for us, we're wrapping up for tonight. I will give my conclusions to the rest of the SEC series and the mid majors as well. The mid majors will be getting a huge spotlight in part 2. So if you want to fast forward to part 2, go ahead and do so. But we are signing off for part 1, so we will see you in part 2. Part 2, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, if you fast forwarded through part 1, our co-host and content person Cameron is on here with us tonight. Jacob could not make it due to
I'm an
traveling.
OnlyFans model.
More. All right.
All right.
That's my
That's
OnlyFans
how we
link in the
kick off the
description.
episode. No, okay. So,
I'm
so
I'm
he's a
gonna try
minor. Okay.
everyone. So I'm gonna try
Only for 2 more days.
for the more way to get the reels and the clips Bryant will make. I'm gonna try to make a TikTok as soon as possible. So hopefully that will get made soon. But
Well, I
first
mean,
up, let's
you're the
get
one
into.
creating it.
Let's start off this with the first segment, which is random baseball fact of the day with Bryant Nelson.
There was no World Series in 1994.
Really?
No, the players lockout.
I should have.
All right,
That's
so
pretty well known MLB fact, but
breaking into it.
Like, I just started getting into baseball like 2 years ago, so I was not aware of this.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm a very black man,
So
so basketball, football, you know how it goes. But we have Tiger Woods, but his driving is not the best.
random outside sports knowledge by Cameron Shivers, part 1. All right, let's walk back in. We'll go over the LSU versus Kentucky series now because Jacob is not here. We were going to film it with him here in part 2, but he is unable to make it because he is currently driving, I think, back to Louisiana.
He is, yeah.
All right, so Bryant, break it down.
All right. So Kentucky, they got upset by a LSU team that was in need of a bounce back series after losing their first 2 SEC contests. And this is an LSU team that's been struggling basically the entire year. Neither their hitting or their pitching has been able to click together at the same time. It's either been their pitching's been really good one series and their offense basically decides to kill itself, or their offense blows up and then their pitching decides to just, you get a home run, you get a home run, she gets a home run, the MILF in the stands gets a home run.
You have sex. You have sex. You have sex.
Essentially the baseball version of that. I mean, balls are flying everywhere in both contexts, but it's just one of
And
those
not in
things.
my
That's
mouth.
what she said.
That is what she said, and that's just one of those things where you can't win a series if you can't play defense or pitch properly. And that was the thing with Kentucky, their bullpen. I mean, you go from
It was like Bonnie Blue just taking it.
All right, back on topic. Like Bryant was saying, Kentucky was up 7-0 after the third inning. LSU brings back a little bit closer, and then Kentucky scores again. It's 10-6 by the fifth inning, and then LSU decides, you know what? It's time to play some baseball, and they decide to go off like what would be the MLB terms? The 2024 Dodgers, basically.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. And it's just one of those things where, I mean, how do you go from being up 7-0 to losing 17-10? That's just a pitching
Yeah, I
failure in all
mean,
aspects, starting,
yeah,
bullpen.
you make LSU's players go from looking like the Rockies last year to prime Aaron Judge. Not even that, prime Barry Bonds on the steroids.
No, they were looking like prime 2024 Tennessee out there. I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Bring back steroids in baseball.
And okay, well, that's just no, because they've got aluminum bats and the ball's already flying 500 effing feet into the air.
Not enough.
No, there's no steroids. That's not happening. No,
What's
no.
steroids?
All right, so
Also, these are college kids. Okay.
back on topic. We would usually go over a longer in-depth over LSU, but Jacob is not here to voice his opinions and basically say they should fire people or not fire people, or they should send players to the Tiger Cage or not. So let's go into the next thing, which is Auburn, Alabama.
Okay, Auburn,
Auburn.
Alabama.
Auburn, what happened to your offense, Auburn?
Well, we're gonna get demonetized before we even get monetized. Oh my god. But Auburn and Alabama.
All right,
Auburn and Alabama.
cut. Well, we'll start here. Let me start it. this is where we will start to cut in 3, 2, 1. All right. Next series is Auburn and Alabama. And Auburn, where's your offense?
They simply ran into the buzzsaw of Alabama. Alabama's been on a tear. They sweep Florida. They sweep now Auburn. They swept two top 25 opponents, two top 20 opponents at that in consecutive weeks. And I mean, it's got Cameron all freaking hot and bothered, as you can see. And it's just one of those things.
Not been like that. Still left work.
Yeah, and as you see, Florida, Florida is not a bad team, as they just got off a sweep of Arkansas, which we will cover later.
Yeah,
And
get Arkansas out of the top 5, bro. They're frauds. Get them out of here, bro.
yeah, I think there's a case for Alabama to be potentially in the top 20.
Top
If not
15. Let's
higher.
be real.
I can see top 15, honestly.
Dude,
The way they're
Alabama,
moving right now, I mean, it's not ridiculous to say that.
they just swept the number 4 team in the country. I think they should go into the top 15. Get Southern Miss out of the top 15. They just lost their series to Appalachian State. Okay. Coastal, okay, they won their series. All right. The
Yeah, but there's going to be a
they won their
massive
series.
shakeup in the rankings
I'm
nonetheless.
going to go on a
Auburn,
rant real quick. Get Tennessee out of here. Get them out of the rankings. What are they doing still ranked inside of the top 25? They just got swept by a bum Vandy team who probably has the worst pitching in the SEC. I mean, they had a 15-10 lead in the bottom of the ninth inning. Now, keep in mind, the fact that the game was 15-10 is ridiculous. I mean, that's just a pitching failure for both teams. Their pitching is bums for both of them. Tennessee and Vandy, I think, are both bums, but, you know.
I mean, they're bums any way that you put it. Just terrible.
Look today. Again, a 16-15 game where Vandy ended up winning. And then yesterday, what was it, the game of the year, as Bryant called it?
16 innings! 16! And I'll tell you this right now.
He was 16!
Cut. All right, back. So 16 innings is just crazy. I mean, the mascot was probably just like...
Okay, I'll explain this. This is my in-depth analysis before I start ranting. Okay. Neither team knew how to throw strikes. Neither team has any power arms out of the bullpen. Every single time they threw a guy out of the bullpen, they were throwing 88 mile an hour poo down the middle of the plate. They were getting behind in counts. So what ended up happening was they would have to throw strikes. They had to throw balls in the strike zone. So then hitters were anticipating that they were going to get something to hit. And that's how you get a shootout like that. Tennessee, 15-10 in the bottom of the ninth inning. They go in with the lead, and then they actually lay an egg, which is capped off in something that was hilarious. I actually called it before it happened. I was laying in my bed watching the game from my monitor, and I was like, there's no way Vandy hits a walk-off grand slam. That'd be the most stupid way to end this game. And then they hit a walk-off grand slam. And I'm like, what just happened? And they've walked off Tennessee 3 nights in a row. Tennessee does not have the ability to finish people off. That's why they lost the series versus Georgia. It's why they almost lost the series versus Missouri. Okay, if you're losing a series Missouri, or almost losing a series to Missouri, and I will preface this by saying, obviously, I've been saying this the entire time the podcast has existed. It is hard to win a series in the SEC, especially on the road. But Missouri, come on. Like,
I mean, more people show up to... What's the best way to put this? More people show up to 2021 Vandy games than Missouri baseball games.
Yeah, I've seen more people at Bonnie Blue lines.
Yeah. See, and that's just Missouri's not even getting that level
of
traction.
There's more people in the drive-through to Chick-fil-A.
One of them.
There's more people in the drive-through to
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there.
There's more people in the drive-through to a Chick-fil-A in Waco on a Saturday lunch rush than a Missouri baseball stadium, and Tennessee still nearly lost that series. My opinion is, I think that kind of just shows, as much as we don't really like him as like a person, how much of an impact as a coach Tony Vitello, I'm butchering the last name again, apologize for that, but Tony Vitello had. Yeah, that just shows how much of an impact Tony Vitello had, because like
Viewers, if
Brian
you
said in
didn't
the
know,
last
me
segment.
and Bryant were at the Bonnie Blue Lines.
No, okay,
Okay,
okay.
cut. Okay, we'll pick. All right, restart, Bryant. This is just for editing purposes. Restart here. Okay, so Tony Patel. This just shows how much of an impact Tony Patel had, because as much as we don't like him or not as a person, you could just really see how much of an impact he had on the team. Because look at 2024 Tennessee. I mean, yes, they would still kind of do stuff like this, but they looked
They
precise.
were not choking 15 to 10 leads like this. Their bullpen
I
could
mean,
actually
like,
close a
I mean, like
game.
they would like sometimes choke like a 3-0 lead or a 4-0 lead, nothing like this. They would sometimes have iffy moments, but yeah, they would. It just shows impact as a coach.
Okay,
That's
you know what?
true.
We
Bless
can't
you,
even
King.
we cannot even compare this year's Tennessee team to 24 because that Tennessee team won 60 games in a national title. Okay, they were a buzzsaw. This Tennessee team literally
Should have been
cannot even
A&M
finish.
though. Not gonna lie.
They cannot even finish unranked Vandy.
That's like
They
comparing
can.
Bonnie Blue to Shohei Otani.
I mean, yes, yes, and no. Okay, I'll put it in baseball terms.
No.
You bless you. You cannot be 3-6 in conference play, get
No.
swept by your rival, and still be in the top 25. Get Tennessee out of the top 25. That's my take.
All
Get them
right,
out of
next
here.
series. Auburn, Alabama. Auburn's offense was like that one like Bugs Bunny clip from Looney Tunes, where it's just like 1, 2, 3, you're out. 1, 2, 3, you're out. 1, 2, 3, you're out. Auburn could just not get a hit off that game, and I watched the recap. Their their hitters were just like, all right, so I'm just gonna swing at this thing that's completely in the other batter's box.
Just
Yeah,
swinging if I can swing.
yeah, basically.
Essentially, I mean, in their last game against Alabama, 2 hits.
See, this is they lost the series versus Texas too. At home, by the way, they lost the series versus Texas at home. Obviously, Texas though, the number 2 team in the country. So there you go.
Yeah, but we do be doing some bullshit from time to time.
Houston, huh? Who said that? Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
we're about to get into, by the way, on the. Oh wait, we already did that segment last part. My
Well,
bad.
actually, now we've got a contender for choker of the week. Now we got 3 segments: Texas, Houston, Game 3 of Vandy, Tennessee, and then Kentucky, LSU. We got 3 contenders for choker of the week this week. I'm
We
thinking,
will put a poll up on the Instagram to see what y'all think it is.
Please do not vote for Texas.
me personally, I'm going with Tennessee, Vandy. That choke was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
That was
because the
awful.
way that game went in the whole series in general, I
It
would
walked
agree with
off 3
Brian.
times in a row.
yeah, and let's
Yeah,
face it.
that doesn't happen. That just does not happen to teams.
That does not
Let's
happen
face
to
it.
top
Yeah,
25 teams.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Texas did lose to Houston, but let's be real. They don't take their midweeks as seriously as their series is.
And I mean, have we seen the Houston STD rates since spring break?
All right, cut for Brian's editing purposes. All right,
You know what? Just for content, I might leave all this crap in. I
I
might leave
think
it
you
in.
should.
no,
I think you
no, we're
should.
gonna get demonetized.
We're not even monetized yet. Who cares?
My RTC sees this, I might get
You're
in
not going to
trouble.
get booted out of ROTC for things Cameron does. I mean, that's just.
Let's just edit out at least the times he's. Let's just edit out a couple of the Bonnie Blue things and just the N word. All right, for Brian's editing purposes, we're gonna restart here. So let's start up next. Cameron has now won the award for best backdrop out of the co-hosts.
Yeah, I have to agree
Is
with that,
that is that
honestly.
Vic Jersey? Is that Vic Jersey signed?
Yes, it is.
He was doing a lot of other signing with other things.
I don't even know if I have anything to say.
All right, all
I
right,
just don't know what I have to say.
all right. Back on topic. Let's break down Game 3 of A&M Missouri.
I mean, it was. I mean, we expanded their assholes. Okay, it was just. I mean, it was like that one scene with the health inspector in Boondocks. It's
Oh
just
no.
I'm gonna have to
I'm
cut that part
flabbergasted by
We
what
might have
I'm
to cut
hearing.
we might have to cut that part out. How am I the clean one on this podcast?
because
Guys,
he's influencing me, and I'm trying to maintain
All right,
composure, but
cut,
it's so
cut.
hard.
All right. So back into it. Back.
Ryan, you're innocent on the podcast, but in person, absolutely not.
All right, we're gonna definitely cut that out. We
What was the
cannot.
condom thing you said it back at work?
That was Tiara who made it. Remember?
Name dropping our coworkers, aren't we?
All right, Bryant has to cut this segment out because we cannot have this getting to Marcos.
Okay,
Bryant, if you
starting
need
now.
help editing, I know how I can. I'm pretty good at editing clips in.
Okay,
All right,
all right.
back on track. So, in 10 Missouri, game 3 was way different than game 1. Our pitching actually looked consistent.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And it's just Sims goes 5.1 innings, 3 earned runs. He's obviously our Aggie pitcher of the week again. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Our Aggie player of the week, though, Gavin Grahovac, 4 home runs and 12 runs batted in this series.
Ooh.
Had back-to-back
And
2 home run games. He gets the award.
however, team of the week, I'm gonna have to give this to Alabama.
Alabama, roll
100%.
They,
tide, roll tide.
Roll nigger.
Oh,
all right, we can.
They definitely said that in Alabama. I know for a fact they said that in Alabama.
I think I'm gonna have to do
You know
so
what?
much editing.
Nothing. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But all right, time to give some of our midweek teams
We
some
might
love,
just let's
or
leave that in, except
mid-major teams.
we're just gonna bleep it out just because it would be funnier.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right,
All
we'll
right,
edit the part out of us discussing leaving stuff in though.
so we got to give love
Let's
to our mid-majors. Okay,
let's
and
start off with Texas Tech versus TCU.
all right.
Texas Tech might have honestly they could have the best offense in all of baseball.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll give you my analysis on Tech since Old Row wanted it. Old Row, you were correct about the runs. There was a lot of runs. Your offense is great, but get your bullpen figured out. Okay, you've got one of the worst bullpens in the Big 12, and that's saying something because TCU exists. How do you get swept by TCU with that
Utah and
offense?
Kansas State also exist, and in that game it was 16-14. So that's saying something. If that Tech's bullpen isn't great,
Ooh, okay, that's rough.
because
They get that bullpen figured out. They can do something. Like,
If
I mean,
Tech had
yeah,
a better
do
bullpen,
something.
they'd be ranked. They would be ranked with the offense that they have. Oh my goodness,
I
their
mean, yeah,
offense is getting wasted.
their offense today had a little bit of an off day, but yeah, when your offense has an off day and your bullpen can't cover, you just drop games.
I mean, yeah.
I
That's just
mean,
baseball.
if
If you're
you want to, here's my take on it. Brian, correct me on this because I'm still kind of getting
What
into the base.
did you just
This
do?
is just my third year of watching baseball, but you gotta if you don't have a bullpen
I like
at
that.
least that can cover for your offense, you just aren't going to be a team that can contend for titles.
Yeah, no, as someone who's been watching baseball since we were wee little sperms in the sack, I'll tell you this. Um,
Well,
your
The
pitching's got to be able
headphone
to
band.
complement your hitting and vice versa. Your hitting's got to be able to complement your pitching. That's why you see a lot of pitching heavy teams, they don't make it very far in the postseason because their offense, they wouldn't be able to hit water with an oar, right? It's
I'm sorry, Cameron. I'm going to have to use Texas last year as that example. And yes, we're not trying to.
Thank you.
Well, we've got a child on the podcast, so it's all right. It's gonna
We'll
pull
cut.
in
We'll
views.
cut that out.
It's gonna pull in views. It's gonna pull in views.
No, we can just throw that on the random clips channel.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
gonna make for TikTok. We'll cut that out. All right, let me get back. All right, cut. And 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
Back on track. I'll tell you what. Like
Yeah,
you
I
said,
mean Texas last year, give them credit. They were an amazing team. It's just the fact that their
yeah, no,
offense was
amazing might be,
bipolar,
but amazing might be the
and
plays.
Texas's offense got bipolar at the worst possible time too.
What did UTSA?
It's like a woman on her period.
What?
Oh no.
A woman on her period.
Oh my goodness!
All right,
My
speaking of
editing is so
UTS,
good.
speaking of UTSA, they look like they're kind of getting on the right track again. They're 20-8 right now, and honestly, I could see a case of them if they can maybe win a couple more series, is that they could be ranked because I think the 19 and below that ranking is just going to shuffle like crazy. I mean, even
Yeah, no.
in the top 5 and above, because I mean, if you look at this week alone, Southern Miss lost their series, Arkansas lost their series. I'm pretty sure Virginia also lost their series. Auburn lost their series, and that really kind of leaves there really isn't that many definitive teams anymore because every team has dropped something.
Yeah, no, I agree,
Yeah,
and I feel like
who's number 3 right now?
who's number 3, Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Yeah, can even Georgia Tech has had iffy moments. Every team, but not like that. It looks like really right now, if you want to say who's winning Omaha, you're kind of down to 3 teams definitively right now who are ahead of the rest, and that is UCLA, Texas, and Georgia Tech. Because every
Yeah,
other team has shown signs. I mean, even
I
even
like
those
Georgia Tech's
teams.
offense. Their pitching is so suspect, though. Also, sorry, Cameron, I had to turn your camera off for the sake of our monetization.
And and yeah, Texas. I mean, they're, they have the best starting pitching in the nation. Well, maybe only behind USC. They need and their offense is not the best, but it's solid. I think their main issue right now is bullpen.
I was looking forward to watching USC, honestly.
They are a dark horse. I agree with you. They are a dark horse. I think they just need to get their offense a little bit better, and then they'll be in that conversation too. But UCLA,
Yeah.
as much as I hate to say it, because my mom is a USC fan, UCLA just looks like the clear favorite to win it all right now, because their
Yeah, I
pitching
mean,
is crazy good. I mean, it's not the best in the nation, but it's the fact that they have a
well, that and they had the biggest
top
pool of
50.
returning talent this year out of all the top 15 teams in college
Yeah, and
baseball.
yeah, and they don't have
Their
like a
talent is crazy.
yeah, they don't have the best top hitting or top pitching, but they're just so balanced, kind of like the team, kind of like how the Belichick Patriots were some years. Like they didn't have the best offense or the best defense, but they were just so balanced to the point where they could just make up for that.
They had Tom Brady as their quarterback. What do you mean? Okay, all right. We'll not get into
They
football
still had some
discourse.
seasons where Drew Brees and Peyton Manning went off, though. And this is
True.
random football knowledge with the Road to Omaha podcast, episode number 28.
Me, very nice. It's either UCLA or Texas. This is biased because I am a Texas fan, but just how I'm seeing it could be
Oh
different from
boy.
y'all.
Here we go
But
with the T-Sip saying that Texas should be number 1.
But honestly, right now,
we should.
here's my dark horse right now to win it all.
No, I'll tell you why you shouldn't be number 1.
Here's my dark.
I'll explain real quick. Your offense is still bipolar, and
Continue,
you get
Brian.
heavily carried by your pitching. That's why Texas is not number one. UCLA is not losing their midweeks to Houston.
I'm going to continue.
Oh gosh.
What?
All right, cut for editing purposes and continue. But yeah, I mean, right now I think the dark horse, my dark horse to win it all personally is Georgia. And yes, they had a flash of weakness
Ooh.
game 3 against A&M, but let's face it, Georgia should be top 5, if not top 4.
Okay, you know what? Before me and Cameron almost got into a heated debate, but Cameron, who you got winning the national championship?
I have won a national championship.
He's gonna say Texas in 3, 2, 1.
Texas.
You said Texas, didn't you? What did you say?
Texas.
He said Texas.
Oh, okay, well, of course.
No, honestly,
So
for
number
bias
58 of
out of
Bryant
the
having
way,
Wi-Fi issues.
bias out of the way. It's UCLA. With bias out of the way.
But my dark horse, if it isn't Georgia, I think Mississippi State. Both of them need to go up a lot.
You want to know who
I
I've
s-
got as the
right
dark
now,
horse of winning the national title?
Hmm.
Give me Florida.
Ooh.
Oh, that actually is a
Give me
solid take
Florida.
because
I can't argue with that. I
yeah, they
really
are
can't argue with that.
23-6. They actually
Yeah.
have a better record right now than. Let me scroll down. I mean, I
It's
think the
not even
schedule
about
comes
record.
into
It's the
play.
fact that they've got some of the best pitching talent in the country and one of the most explosive offenses in the country.
Yeah,
They simply ran into the buzzsaw that is Alabama, and I think Alabama is a dark horse pick to make Omaha. I've got Alabama in my current Omaha bracket right now.
I do it as well, and right now, this might be a hot take, but I don't think Arkansas is a top 10 team.
Oh, oh, okay, all right.
Arkansas?
Ooh, okay, all right. So
I think if you're a top 10 team, yeah, it might be a hot take, but yes, Florida should be ranked. But it's the manner of the fact that Arkansas had several chances to win every game in that series, and they blew every single one.
I was going to say that, and you know what? While I don't agree with you that I think Arkansas should stay in the top 10, they should not be in the top 5. I think we can all agree Arkansas is not a
Yeah,
top 5
Not
team.
at all. Not at all.
I honestly think them and Mississippi State could swap.
Dude, put Mississippi State at like number 3.
Yeah, because Georgia Tech's they have. I
Okay,
think
Georgia Tech's pitching is very suspect. I will get that out of the way with
despite
Georgia
their
Tech real
offense
quick.
being the best, I think. Let me check real quick
Let me explain
on
my take real quick.
NCAA.com.
Georgia Tech, they've got probably the best offense in the country. However,
According to NCAA,
the thing
according
that's
to
going to keep
NCAA.
them from making
Sorry.
it to Omaha is their pitching. Their pitching is insanely suspect.
According to NCAA.com, you are correct. Georgia has the best
Like
offense at point. They are currently batting as a team an average of
Yeah,
.373.
Georgia and Georgia Tech have the 2 best offenses in the country. That's not even a debate.
Actually, Georgia is number 8. Texas Tech now is the second best offense.
I knew Tech had a top 5 offense. I was saying that the entire time. Like I said, Tech's
Mississippi
offense is
State's up
getting
there.
wasted.
Mississippi State is number 3, and they had the same issue Georgia Tech is that their pitching is bipolar.
their pitching's like a pregnancy. No, think about it. Like you don't know what you're gonna get. You genuinely don't know.
Exactly.
You know,
I
actually,
mean,
that's
and
actually a
then
decent analogy. I'll leave that. Yeah.
yeah, like, and another thing, Ole Miss, get them out of the top 20.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm going to name teams that need to be left out of the top 25 right now. Get Ole Miss out of the top 25. Get Tennessee out of the top 25. Oh my goodness. Get Notre Dame out of the top 25. They just got swept by North
Notre
Carolina.
Dame can get out of here.
Get Notre
And
Dame
North
out of here.
Carolina, and fun fact, North Carolina has a tied game. I don't know why, but they have a game where they tied somebody apparently.
Ole Miss has really nice snow bunnies.
Okay.
I mean, man, Mississippi, man.
Okay, but
I mean, they probably just go there for the baseball.
I mean,
You know, this is gonna be a hot take, and I'm gonna have a quick segment, real quick. Two things. First of all, my second mid-major highlight, DBU, um, and I'm highlighting DBU because someone from within DBU wanted me to cover them, and I watched their games. I'll tell you, I'm impressed with their offense. I'm just giving you some short thoughts on DBU real quick. Love their offense. They're disciplined. They walk a lot. They work counts. They have pop. Their middle relief is questionable. Their middle relief has lost them a lot of games. Um, but the second thing I wanted to go over is for a lot of the new viewers, um, who are just starting to watch college baseball, they might not understand how the College World Series or the postseason works. So this next segment is just me explaining that. So there are 3 rounds in the college baseball postseason: the regionals, the super regionals, and the College World Series. Okay. I'm going to get this out of the way real quickly. The College World Series is not a best of 7 series between 2 teams like the major leagues is, because college teams just do not have enough depth for that. They've only got 3 starting pitchers and a handful of bullpen arms. That's just can't be doing all that with that small amount of depth. And I'll start off with the College World Series because it's the one of the simplest formats to explain. The College World Series is comprised of 8 teams, 4 teams in each what's called bracket. So there's 2 sides, 4 teams on each side of the bracket. So 8 teams in total. It's a double elimination bracket. I'm gonna be like John Madden drawing on the screen, except you're not gonna see anything. And so there's 2 opening round games for each bracket. The winners of those games play each other in a winner's game. Now, what double elimination means is that you have to lose twice to get eliminated. So let's say Arkansas and Coastal Carolina played each other in a first round game, and Coastal Carolina won. They would face whoever is the winner of the other opening round game on their side of the bracket in a winner's bracket game, and then Arkansas would play the loser of that game. Arkansas now has to fight through the loser's bracket. They've got 1 loss; they cannot lose again. Let's say
Texas Tech.
they play Texas Tech because Tech lost to North Carolina. So North Carolina, Texas Tech, Arkansas, and Coastal are all in the same bracket. So Coastal and North Carolina are playing each other in a winner's bracket game. Arkansas and Tech are playing each other in a loser's bracket game. Let's say Arkansas wins. Tech, that's their second loss. They're 0-2. Get them out of here. They're gone. The winner of the Coastal and North Carolina game then plays the winner of that elimination game. So let's say Coastal Carolina beats North Carolina. They go to 2-0, and so they're in the semifinals for their bracket or for their side of the bracket. So then North Carolina now has to play Arkansas. Arkansas is 1-1, and so is
The
North
field is
Carolina.
64, right?
Yeah, the postseason starts as a field of 64, but I'll get to that in a
Eh,
second.
yeah, and I'll get to on three's current projections later, and we can debate over those.
Yes. Now, where was I? Right. North Carolina, Arkansas are playing each other, right? They're both
And
1-1. Remember, double elimination. You got to lose twice to be eliminated. Let's say Arkansas, they fight their way all the way through the losers bracket. They beat North Carolina. North Carolina is now 1-2. They're gone. They've lost twice. So now they're rematching versus an undefeated Coastal Carolina. Now, this is where things get interesting in the semifinals. Arkansas has to beat Coastal Carolina twice because Coastal Carolina does not have any losses. Remember, you got to lose twice to be eliminated.
yeah, it's
So,
like loser bracket. It's weird like that. I've had experience in that from
yeah, it's like being a Cub.
competitions before.
Like
what?
you lose your life, and you see her getting cracked by another man, and you like 2 losses.
Episode 28 of Weird Analogies by Cameron Shivers.
Not facts. But moving on, because Coastal Carolina has not lost, all right, because Coastal Carolina has not lost, Arkansas has to beat them twice. If Arkansas loses just once, they're gone. They're out. That's their second loss. For Arkansas to advance past the semifinals and get to the finals, which the finals is just the best out of 3 between the winners of both brackets. Pretty simple format. But
Yeah, not too difficult to think about.
but for Arkansas to hypothetically get to the finals, they have to beat Coastal Carolina 2 times in a row. So let's say Arkansas, they win one game. So okay, Coastal's now 2-1, and so now you got a 3-1 Arkansas versus a 2-1 Coastal Carolina. So what that ends up happening is a winner take all game happens in the semifinals. Whoever wins that goes to the finals. And let's say Coastal Carolina wins on a walk off in the 11th inning. Boom, Coastal Carolina, they're 3-1. They go to the finals. And because Arkansas, how did they get eliminated, boys? They lost their second game. They're out. Now they're facing the winner of the other side of the bracket. And for this scenario, we're going to say Texas. All right. The finals is pretty simple to explain. It's the best out of three. Whoever wins 2 games, you win the national title. Okay. We'll start off game one. Texas wins in a pitcher's duel 2-1. Texas leads the series 1-0. They got to win one more game to win the national title. Uh-oh. Coastal Carolina's got to bounce back. So Coastal Carolina, they bounce back. They kick the crap out of Texas 15-2. They force the winner take all game 3. Texas wins on a walk-off in the 10th inning. So because Texas won the series 2-1, they got their 2 wins. Texas is your national champions in that scenario. Now, that's how the College World Series works.
Oh, okay, Cameron. Cameron, don't do that.
Okay, so the Super Regionals is very simple. It's literally just a best out of 3. Whoever wins that series goes to the College World Series because at that point, the Super Regionals
GSA.
is just 16 teams. And then before that, it's a field of 64 in the regionals. There's 4 teams in each regional. And I'll go more into depth on regionals and super regionals in the next episode. But that is how the College World Series works. And I'll give you my current bracket. Actually, Ryan, start off. Give us your current College World Series bracket.
Gosh, I don't really know that right now. I still want to do some more research.
Okay, give us. Okay, well, y'all are all right. So, all right, I'll give you my.
But since Bryant said the number 16 earlier, we have an important question for you. Is
Oh,
81
God.
and 16 bad?
Cut.
All right, go again. Now, what was I going to
Oh,
say? My current
okay.
field for the
You
College
know
World
what? I have a
Series.
top 8. I have a top 8, and it's kind of controversial, actually. And I have 2 teams that are not currently in the top 8 that I think have a shot if they can get it together.
Uh huh.
Okay, we're going to start off with number 1, UCLA,
Uh huh. That's obvious.
Texas.
Uh huh.
Hmm.
You know what? Give me Georgia.
Okay. All right. Reasonable pick.
Number 3, Georgia Tech at 4.
All
The
right.
5th team, Mississippi State, probably.
Okay. Safe.
6th team, give me Alabama.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I
All
like
right.
that. I like that.
I like that. I like that. You got to throw some mid majors in there, though.
7th
Remember,
team, I think Auburn's going to right the ship eventually, so they'll be there.
I don't know. I've got Auburn losing in my
And number
regionals.
8, you know what? Give me USC.
Ooh, okay. All right. I like that.
I think if USC can get their offense going like they were able at the end of the Maryland series, they are going to be dangerous. You combine the best ERA in the nation with even just the top 50 offense, you have a team that can win it all.
Yeah,
This is
no,
top tier takes right here. I completely agree with those. Top tier.
However,
Okay.
right now in the national championship, I have UCLA and Texas, and UCLA wins a game 3.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to stop you right there because that's basically 2 1 seeds going up against each other, and that's a little bit too predictable. And college baseball is chaotic. I'm going to give you my College World Series bracket as of right now. Okay, first of all, obviously, give me UCLA, give me Georgia, give me Florida as my 3rd team.
Okay.
You know, but I was considering putting Florida. It was either Florida or USC for me.
14, give me Coastal Carolina. All right. Coastal Carolina's got a hell of an offense. They can hit against the SEC pitching.
And
Give me
yes, they
Coastal
aren't ranked at.
Carolina.
Yes, well, Coast. Don't hold up. We're running. Yeah, we are running short on time, so we'll go into the the current projections next episode. But like you said, Coastal, yes, they aren't top 10 for in the rankings for regular season, but they just know how to get it done in the postseason.
They do. I absolutely agree. My fifth. What am I on my fifth team now?
You had
Yeah.
Texas, Georgia, UCLA, and Coastal, and Florida.
Florida. So give me
So
Tarleton State.
Really?
what?
Give me Tarleton State, and I will explain why really quick. Before, so I don't sound like a complete lunatic. They are almost undefeated in conference play. They've beaten the number 2 team in the country. They've beaten Baylor.
Baylor can't. Baylor's
Tarleton
not.
is
It's.
hot right now.
Yeah, Baylor isn't the greatest win, and sorry, Baylor fans. Like Baylor, Baylor just needs to get their pitching together.
But no, that's my hot take team. Give me Tarleton State to at least make it to the Supers, but beat
I
my
think you
hot
need
take
one
to
more
make it to
team.
the College World Series. Oh
He's
no, I
like a
need
man
two.
on crack in the 80s, but I like it.
So what
I
are my
like it
teams right
though.
now? We got UCLA, we got Georgia, Florida,
Texas.
Texas, Coastal, Tarleton. I got 2 more teams. Okay, another hot take. This is my bias take. Give me Texas A&M as my 7th team.
I won't even argue against it.
You know what? I can't
As a long
really
person,
argue
I won't
against that
argue against it.
too. Right now, I think A&M, they are just on the cusp. If we can get our pitching figured out and get it locked in, because our pitching right now, it's pretty solid. We're just bipolar.
It's inconsistent as of right now.
If we
Okay.
can get the consistent and get like a performance like Aiden Sims did tonight against out of people like Moss and Sadao, I think is it Sadao?
Which our Grimes Energy Pouch Pitcher of the Week has to go to Riojas of Texas for his complete game shutout over Oklahoma. And then, all right,
You
my final team that I predict will be in the College World Series this year in 2026. Drum roll, please.
I'm out of blast!
West Virginia.
what?
West Virginia?
West
West
Virginia.
Virginia. What I said it. I said it. West Virginia has impressed me a lot.
Explain. I gotta hear this explanation. Of all
I gotta
explanations,
hear
I have to
this
hear
too
this.
Their
because
pitching,
didn't West Virginia?
balanced. They've got one of the best offenses in the country. They just kicked the crap out of a top 25 ranked Arizona State on the road. West Virginia, they've got the firepower to kick the crap out of a lot of top 25 teams, and they will surprise a lot of people this year. Book it.
Yeah, West Virginia has a top 20 for offense, and I can clearly tell that NCAA has not updated their earned run averages yet because Tennessee is still in the top 20.
Yes.
But that'll be all for this entire episode. Give us a like and a subscribe. Honestly, go follow our
All right,
Instagram.
Go subscribe to my OnlyFans.
all right,
Don't do that last part.
all right. We'll go over the full field of 60 for tomorrow, but first,
60% off.
First, we're gonna go over the last 4 in and first 4 out to cut it off. Currently, the first 4 out are Pittsburgh, Oklahoma State, East Carolina, and Miami. And the last 4 in are UC Santa Barbara, Boston College, Kansas, and Texas Tech. And this is according to On3.com's current projections.
They need to put Tarleton State in the field of 64. That's all I'm saying. Tarleton State is sneaky underrated.
I cannot tell. Let me check to see.
I'm gonna watch porn after this.
Oh, God.
And Tarleton is not in the field right now for some
Are
reason.
you serious? That's crime. What? Why? That is.
I could have
Okay.
typed in Tarleton wrong, so give me a second.
If you subscribe to my OnlyFans
Tarleton
the
is
next
not
5
in.
minutes, I give you
Tarleton is not in the
70% off.
64. I think Tarleton is not getting credit because they are an FCS team.
Well, they're a mid-major in college baseball. They're only an FCS in football.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
What are
that'll be
they
all for-
baseball again?
They're in the whack.
Yeah, I think they are definitely not getting the credit they deserve, and this kind of might be a little bit biased, but I think the committee needs to watch more of the midweek games
No, I 100% agree.
because
Now,
I think
that'll
because they are mainly because Texas, I think personally, Texas should have dropped a spot when they lost to Tarleton and then gone back up this week.
100% agree.
But nothing happened. They only kept and it seems like they're kind of judging teams mainly based off the series.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what you have to
And
do
if-
just because midweeks are so unpredictable. But because we're running out of time, that's the end of the episode tonight. Thank you so much for watching.
Before we go, don't be part of the problem. Be the whole problem. Okay? If you see a snow bunny and she won't give you her number,
All right,
just
so
keep asking.
cut.
Think about it
love,
like
love you
this.
guys. Cutting.
I still set 2 cups on the table every night.